So there's plenty of times we could have connected, and I'm glad that we didn't. Like, he'll tell you that he wasn't in the right place to be doing that. Right. He wasn't in the right place. But it's interesting because even to have this conversation, like, knowing how long we've known each other, like, the reason why we were kind of like, okay, we're going to keep it casual, not trying to be in a relationship, was because I had just gotten out of a relationship. Yeah. And both of us, like, at that same time when I was just coming back to Sarasota, like, we both were getting out of relationships, so same ones we had in college, all of that was going on. So it's just interesting to have this conversation. But I feel like there's so much that just flowed naturally. Like, from us moving in together, even around, like, we moved in together within 3 months. I don't remember exactly when we said the I love yous and stuff, but I remember it was just very natural. But then we didn't get married for like 2.5, 3 years after that. Mm-hmm. And even like we didn't do an engagement or anything like that. So like everything has been us just creating the type of relationship that we want out of each other. Like, and deciding that this relationship was going to be different than anything else that we've done. Like, clearly nothing else has worked. So like this has to be different. And I think the thing that I'm the most proud of in our relationship is that we're really good friends. Like, like best friends. Like, this is my best friend, and I think that that's what motivates me to like watch what I say, watch how I say it, watch how I show up, you know, things like that. Because I'm like, I want to keep you around as my best friend, like not just as a husband, but like as my best friend. And the things that I say today will determine that for the future.
Me and John have that consistent ongoing thing where we were friends before we got together because he was going through his whole religious I call it tradition. You can call it however you want. This is
tradition,
right?
It was actually
it is the start. Like goes all the way back to Africa. It goes back to our ancestors. Right. So like his family continues it. And so when he was going through his process and he couldn't go out, he couldn't do anything. And I tell John, like, you couldn't go out at night. He couldn't, like, he had to follow a regimen. And literally our nights were spent sitting in his room, watching TV, eating dinner, doing homework, talking. Like, that's how our relationship started. And we built a foundation of friendship before we were, like, intimate. And that is what, to me, I tell John all the time, like, I'm so grateful that when we, like, we joke and say, like, his grandma and my great-grandma, like, in heaven, we're like, these two are going together. So that's literally how it felt for us. It was like, it just happened. And everything felt natural. And it was a friendship first and then a relationship. And to this day, he's still my best friend. Like, anything good happens, not just because he's my husband, but him and Tequila are the first two people I call. They even have a group me. Like, that's how much of a friend he is to me. My friend is his friend as well. And that's what. And whenever people ask us, like, what are you guys looking for? Like, how did you guys get it this way? And blah blah blah. I was like, we were friends first. We didn't rush anything. We didn't push on anything. We kind of just let life do what it had to do.
It was kind of the same way because, like, we as the relationship, was growing. Like, I learned that me and her knew we had the same friends in common, whatnot, or friends or whatever. And then, like, I used to tell her all the time, like, she stayed in the beach, so like me and my mom used to drive by her house every other day. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, and then my mom, matter of fact.
He stays in unincorporated. That's what y'all call it, unincorporated day.
Opalaka, North Miami. With the bill, because I wore the bills from North Miami, but when they come around, it's Opalaka.
But he lived in Opalaka, and he was like, I used to go to Aventura, and like, how many times I was in Aventura going to the movies, and like. He was like, I used to go to CB Smart, or we used to go to Oak Grove. You know how many times I used to walk to Oak Grove to get to my grandma's house? Like you guys, you had so many opportunities, and it never happened. And then me and John had so many opportunities. It just never happened until now.
And I learned that my mom and her mom actually knew each other for a while.
Yeah, his mom used to go to my mom used to work at Dillard's, right here in Dillard's, in Pines. And his mom would shop in the same area my mom worked.
Interesting.
And it was like, you know how many times I was at Dillard's with my mom when there was no school? I never like ran into his mom on those days. So it's just, you know, we have our you know, we think the ancestors, like his grandmother and my great grandmother, like we're in heaven plotting to make sure this happened. They were like, this is gonna happen. I like you, you like me. Let's get this together.
Yeah, because my great grandma, my mom always tell me the story about like my great grandma. You know, I'm Bahamian descent, so. But she used to travel like to Haiti, she used to travel to Jamaica, she used to travel all through the Caribbean, and like, you know, she'll do the spiritual work. You know, and then like I learned that her great grandma,
my great grandma did spiritual work.
Spiritual work too. So I'm like, it's, you know, they must have met before. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. Like the universe, it like it moves around stuff, and you know, like even not even with just us. It's just like with anything, like whether it's like business or you go to school or whatnot. Like there's always a connection somehow, somewhere. You know.
Right. That's what we say. We say the universe is bubbling.
Right.
Like you can like feel it. Sometimes when it's things that are coming up, like separate people having the same conversations in different parts. You know, the universe is like bubbling, and we talk about that all the time.
So you guys have now. So me and John, I told John the other day, and I was like, please don't get offended, but we've been married now for a couple months. And I don't feel like I'm married. I feel like not when I said what I said. We were only married a couple months. When I said, remember when we were having that conversation? And I was like, babe, I don't even feel like I'm married. Like I'm married. Like I just feel like we're still shacking up together. Like it did. Like to us, nothing. Yeah. I told John, I was like, nothing has changed except I have a ring and there's a paper that legally says that I am the owner of all the things that you have if you die. Or like, you know, no one can make a decision on your life when you're in the hospital except for me because I'm your wife, I'm your next of kin. But that's the only thing that's changed. So do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, it's been like that. I think it's because we were in it over 3 years. And very quickly, everything, like our whole lives began to intermingle. So, like bills, cars, food, like family, parents. So, 3 years of that. And I mean, to get married, honestly, for us was, and we spoke about it, we were saying that we didn't really care to. But for us, it was more like, we wanted to have a big ass celebration with our friends and family. We had a big ass party. That's what we wanted to do.
If that was one thing I could change from the wedding, I would still do the church because that was one of my dreams growing up as a kid. But if I could have really redo my wedding, I would have just done the courthouse and then gone to somewhere and just partied the whole night.
That was what we wanted to do. Was the main thing was the party, but. So getting married afterwards, it was nothing that really changed, and people kept asking us, and I was like, it just feels exactly the same. It's not like now she has to move in. It's not like now I have to put my accounts together. All of that shit is already together. So.
Honestly, for me, I mean, it's not a change, but for me, it was like a change when I got the paper, the actual hey, y'all married. Because you know we get it before.
Because your god sisters kept saying, because his god sisters was like, y'all were already married. Yeah. By the eyes of God, the ancestors and Yerishas, you guys were already married. Yeah. Y'all were living together. Y'all were doing things as a married couple. Now, legally, you're married.
Yeah, when I seen that paper, I was like, this official. It's already been official spiritually, but it's right here. You know what I'm saying? So, and then through the ceremony and stuff, it was really more about just seeing the union of the families, you know. That was for me, you know. Me and her, we both family oriented. Because
there were days where I was like, no, we're gonna do a Jasmen and Asa. I don't know why my mouth wants to do Asa, but Asa. I don't know why my tongue is Asa. No, it's not. It's Asa. I was like, I just want to do because I showed him your wedding pictures and your gown was lovely, and it was they were just by a lake or by a river, if you want to say.
The ocean.
Right. It was the ocean.
On the bay, yeah.
It was on the bay. And your friend Jessica, who is amazing, was their officiant, and their family. It was just very intimate. I was like, let's just do that. Forget every other aspect of this wedding because I'm done. I'm tired. But John really pushed that because if it was up to me, like now I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have just done what you guys did.
And I think for us, like getting to the point of an actual ceremony, again, was about the party, and for me it was really important to like publicly express our union, and then also express it in front of the people that are going to hold us accountable, right? So like I said to Asa, I said the people that need to be there are the people that when I'm pissed at you, I'm going to call them and they're going to remind me what I said that day. Like they're going to remind, like these are the people that I need to be there. Not people just there for the food, not people just there for the Instagram, but people that are going to hold us to the things that we've said that day. And then of course our family. So our wedding was only our family, like our close family. Like, and we even stuck to that because there were some of my family members that did not get invited. Like I was hell bent on being like, no, like we don't talk. You're not coming.
That led to so many arguments in my house.
I didn't care, and I think that to me was also really special. To be able to stand in that boldness, like with him, and then even with my parents. Like at one point, my mom was like, "But you have to," and I was like, "But I don't." Like this is for us, and I mean, I believe in energies. Like I believe that people can pour energy into a relationship, into a partnership, or whatever. I don't need like your negative energy all up in like our day. Like I don't need to invite you just to say that I did, just because you're supposed to be this family member when all you do is like pour negative energy my way. Like
I didn't think that way until I met John. Like John is the one that taught me to think that way, and it even become to that point with my own mother.
Right.
Where my mother is negatively talking about John or saying anything negative about our relationship, and I literally get up and walk out.
Exactly.
Because I did the part of the wedding where I gave in to certain aspects of it, right? But now this is my marriage. You guys had the wedding. This is my marriage. You're not destroying this.
I wasn't letting you have none of it. The only thing I gave into was my dad wanted to officiate the wedding, and I was like, no, just be my dad, because he's a minister. I was like, I just need you to be my dad today. But the thing I did give into was he prayed. So after he walked me down the aisle, he prayed over us, which was cool for him to still be involved, because he wanted to do that and be at the altar and whatever. But the rest of it, I mean, I was like, I'm not wearing white. Everything I had on was made by a black woman. Like the dress, the jewelry, my hair, like everything was made by a black woman. My wedding ring, like the vows that we said to each other, we didn't do till death do us part vows. We wrote vows that was like, I'm going to be in this relationship as long as it's healthy for the both of us. I can't commit to anything after that. Like I'm not going to do that with you. That's unrealistic. Right. So we did, like, that was really important to me, for that to be made publicly in front of our friends and family, and again, those people that are going to hold us accountable. And then he wanted to have a lit ass party that I was like, okay, that's the only good part. I was like, okay, I'm here for it, and I'm stressed, but it's okay. And it was the most fun reception. It was a 90s themed reception. That's so everybody went and changed. We all went and changed. I don't know if you remember DJ Jazzy Jeff was our DJ. So he played all of this Tallahassee music from 2006 to 2009.
Wait. You talking about, y'all talking about y'all DJ Jazzy Jeff? Talking about the legend.
Not the legend.
Not the legend. Oh, no. We ain't got money like that. There's a DJ Jazzy Jeff from Tallahassee that when we were in school, so we had him, he was our DJ, so he played all the little ass Tallahassee music and all that stuff from when we were in college. All of our college friends were there. Like it was so much fun, and that's exactly what we wanted, was to have a wedding that like pours into community and pours into our friends as much as they pour into us, and have people also just keep pouring into us. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
It was a really good experience. I loved it. Right in the vows, I was trying to write my vows and I could not write them until like 2 hours before.
While he was drunk on mimosas.
Yeah, we were drinking mimosas.
It's what's that saying? Drunken thoughts, sober dreams. Right.
But I wrote them and they were bomb. Everybody,
They were really good.
We wanted to do that. We wanted to write